the Pick-6 podcast, talking all things NFL.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pick-6 podcast with me, Connor Charlton. I am joined by Luke Jones, and there's a big match this weekend. I don't know if you've heard, it's Super Bowl 56 between the Cincinnati Bengals and the LA Rams, champions of the NFC versus the AFC, for the greatest prize in sport in America. The biggest game in the world, the best spectacular in the world. They've got a great halftime show this year as well. So it's all great. It's all looking good. It's all looking positive. We're here to preview it. We start with 32. We're down to our final two. It's a final game of the year. I'm quite sad about it. So let's hope it's a good one and not a repeat of the last time LA was in the Super Bowl against the Patriots a few years back, when it was a terrible Super Bowl. But it shouldn't be when you've got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, OBJ, Cooper Kupp, and Matthew Stafford. So we're here to look forward to it, the last game of the year, but these podcasts won't stop. We will be coming to you throughout all the off-season with all the news and everything. But we're here for one thing today, the Super Bowl. Are you excited, Luke? Because I certainly am.
Nah, the 13th of February is much more important things happening. That's my birthday, so...
I didn't even know that. That's
yeah. I mean, what a great birthday, though, because it's always been the week before. And because I work shifts, every single year, I always had to work I was on nights during the Super Bowl, so now it falls on my time off, so I could not be happier with...
Thank God for week 18.
Weeks in the season now.
Yeah. I haven't told my girlfriend it's Valentine's Day the day after. She's staying here. I've not told her what's happening on that Sunday, so she might be a bit upset when I tell her, I'm staying up till 4 o'clock. Sorry for keeping you awake. Yeah.
She's got to understand, unfortunately.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, Super Bowl. Work in the morning, Super Bowl. Who cares?
I mean, you got to know, being an NFL fan, we're used to not having sleep, so...
I am. But that next day, though, is always the worst after the Super Bowl, because I stay up for all the celebrations and stuff as well. Like, normally I just switch it off at 3:30 or whatever, but no. 4 o'clock, 4:30, I'm still up, struggling. Just hope they understand at work the next morning. But yes, we are here to discuss what should be, on paper, a brilliant Super Bowl. We'll talk through both teams' chances, discuss what they're good at, what they're not so good at. We'll do our predictions. I'm 0-5. Luke's a bit better. Think about 2 and...
Become 1-5.
1 and 4, 2 and 3. We've not got much right in this playoff, but it's been a crazy year. Who'd have thought the Cincinnati Bengals would be in a Super Bowl? That's how much of a crazy year it's been. They came last place in their division last year. Joey B suffered a horrible injury. He's the first quarterback ever to guide his team to a Super Bowl when he's been number one pick in his first 2 years. What true number one he is. So let's get into it. Let's start with the Cincinnati Bengals, the surprise story of the year, the great story of the year. Joe Burrow, the coolest man. And that's not me talking about him, that's OBJ talking about how cool he is. McFearless, with his perfect kicking record in the playoffs. I think he's 12 for 12 now, made 4 in each game. He's kicked a winning field goal to get to the AFC Championship game, and then also to get to the Super Bowl. He's cool, he has no fear. Jamar Chase, no fear, just cool. What happened to the Cincinnati Bengals? They were a mess, 2 years ago? Now we're in a Super Bowl. I think that's the beauty of the NFL. You don't see Burnley go to win the league when they're a mess in the Premier League. Leicester did it that one time, but that was a one-off. In the NFL, this can happen every year. The New York Jets, as unlikely as it is, they could be in the Super Bowl this time next year.
Yeah. It just it's one of them. It's the power of the draft in the Bengals versus the power of money in the Rams. Because the Rams basically are like, no, we don't care about draft picks. We just want to get this player, this player, this player. Don't care. Throw all the money at them. And then you got the Bengals, who have just quietly under the radar built a nice solid roster, and they just needed that final piece. Well, 2 final pieces, because obviously Jamar Chase is a big part of their team. But the show flashes the last year without Chase, when they had Burrows just I obviously I don't watch college football, so I didn't know he was good. I didn't know how good he was, but he must have been a very good college player to just come because they always have that teething problems, but he's not had it. He's just
No.
like it's like he's still at college. He's like he's still playing for the LSU Tigers, and it's just like I'm playing against Tom Brady now, or something like. You know what I mean? It's just it's not phased him. Like playing against Patrick Mahomes, most quarterbacks would have beat themselves. Like Mahomes wouldn't have needed to beat you. You would have, your inside of you would have beat yourself. So the fact he's just amazing, and he's just ice cool Joey B.
I love the story of the Bengals as well. It's not this because it's nobody team really. Nobody hates the Bengals. Maybe Cleveland do, but the Steelers don't hate the Bengals. The Ravens probably don't hate the Bengals. They just this team everyone seems to like. We don't mind the Bengals because they've never been this threat before. But maybe people will wake up and be like, the Bengals. Maybe if they win this one, people will be really rooting for them this one. But if they're back next year, it's be like, oh, not these again. Which you want as a team. You don't want to be liked by neutrals as a team, I don't think. Like, you want to be hated because that means you're doing well. Like the Patriots, no one likes the Patriots because they've won everything. No one likes the Dallas Cowboys because they were winning in the 90s. No one likes Manchester United because they won everything. No one likes Liverpool because they win. And this Bengals team, everyone likes them. They're this cool underdog scoring. No one's expected them to get here. They've come through the Raiders, which they were favourites for by about 3 points. Then came... who did they play in the next round?
Oh.
Raiders. What can I think?
It doesn't matter. They've been underdogs, haven't they, the rest of the way?
Yeah, and obviously that Chiefs game, you said most quarterbacks beat Patrick Mahomes. They beat themselves when they play Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes beat himself up trying to play against Joe Burrow.
He looked like one just out of college.
And it's just brilliant to see them here. There's doubts over Zach Taylor, whether he can coach or not, but he's in a Super Bowl. Whether talent or not has got there, you still need a coach to get you to a Super Bowl. And he's got his team there. They've just got so many young, brilliant players. Obviously, I was listening to a Colin Cowherd today saying, this could be the start of something beautiful. I think it was Carson Palmer who said, Joe Burrow can get these guys back here again and again and again. Aaron Rodgers, do you know how many Super Bowls he's been to? He's been to 1 Super Bowl. He won it. Oh. Drew Brees, he's won 1 Super Bowl. He couldn't get back there. Tom Brady is the only guy who keeps getting back to Super Bowls. He got there 10 times. He won 7. People are going, Pat Mahomes will be in so many Super Bowls. He'll win 10. He might do. But he's been back. He's beat 2 Super Bowls. He couldn't get past. He couldn't get there this year. It's hard. So they need to take this opportunity. People can say what they like about Joe Burrow. He might be brilliant. They'll be paying him soon. He won't have the brilliant. He might not have a brilliant team around him because he wants the money. He's going to get the money. He deserves the money. And when you start getting paid, pieces get taken away from you. When Pat Mahomes were paid, pieces were taken away from him. The squad depth at the Chiefs is not brilliant. Injuries happen, so they need to grasp this opportunity. They can't think there's a next time. They can't think, we're that good, we might be here again next year. Nothing's giving in the NFL. I think Joe Burrow knows that after suffering that horrible injury midway through last season. And they're here. They're going to be fighting. They beat the Chiefs. The 3-point underdogs in this game. It's at home with the LA. The LA Rams have got they're small fish in a big pond. LA have so many sports teams. And you think, the Rams been backing LA. They're not that popular. The 49ers, they outsold them. Bengals, they haven't been here for 34 years. There's going to be lots of them. And if you're not a Rams fan, I think you're probably supporting the Bengals this week, just because how cool Joe Burrow is, and he can hurt you. It's been shown all season, the connection, the deep ball to Jamar Chase. If he can get going, yes, obviously the offensive line for the Bengals isn't the best, is it? And that defensive line, it's going to be a task, but if he can get it out quick, because that's what he's going to need to do. He's going to get the ball out quick because you've got to have Donald, probably the best player in the NFL now. You've got to have Von Miller, who's back to his old self. I mean, if he can have a big game, he could win his second Super Bowl MVP. So he's going to have to get that ball out quick. And he's going to need... He can't be having Jamar Chase sprinting down that field. You don't have time for that. You're going to need Higgins. You're going to need Chase. You're going to have a lot of short players. What do you think they need to do to win as well?
It's gonna have to be a lot of RPO, isn't it? He's got to get out of that pocket because the Rams are always going to always going to attack you with 5. So in this season, when the Bengals have been faced with every one of their offensive linemen having to defend their own person, it's not been very successful. So it's going to be a lot of shotgun, a lot of shotgun passes, RPOs. You got to get Burrows out of that pocket because he's not slow. So if he could spend a couple of seconds in that pocket and then spin out onto his left or right, he's got the ability to throw across his body. And is the run game going to be successful? Because if they can't stop them getting to Burrow, are they going to be able to help?
Yeah, Mixon is going to be swallowed up.
Yeah, are they going to be able to help Mixon get through? I just don't know. But they'll know this going into... They know they're not going to have the ball for a while. Tom Brady was the best at getting rid of it. He averaged like under 2 seconds of getting rid of the ball throughout his whole career. And that's just all Burrows needs to challenge. But Burrows isn't that type where he's going to be looking for the hero play like Mahomes was in the game they played against each other. Like Mahomes was just trying to make something happen. Like Burrow's not stupid. If he knows nothing's happening in his play, he will throw it out. He will, try and run for it to the sideline or something. He's not going to hold on to it and take a big sack for loss because he's got very high footballing, IQ. So it's just going to be like, how they both scheme. Like the way we see the Rams and the way we see the Bengals will never be the way we've seen them all season because they all change it up for the Super Bowl because they've had 2 weeks to look at film. They've had 2 weeks to look at every single play. Like every team now, like the Rams and Bengals up to this point in the season, have gone through every play in their playbook. So the Bengals have a copy of the Rams playbook in their hand, and the Rams have a copy of the Bengals playbook in their hand. So it's just going to be ripped up by both of them. It's just going to be completely new and something we've not seen before. Like Chase being number 1. I can see Higgins being the number 1 option every time because it's different. I know Uzomah's like an injury doubt, but he would be a big part of their offense if he comes back. But I think if he's only 90% ready, he's going to come back because it's a Super Bowl. You've got another 8 months to bloody recover now. If you're even remotely going to be even a tiny bit fit for this, you're going to come back, aren't you? You're going to throw everything at it.
100%. But the thing you can't fall behind, big lead in this game to the Rams. Because if you're 14 points down, you're going to have to throw it long. You're going to have to get some big plays. And they won't have time. Like you said, he needs to be out that pocket. That ball needs to be gone like that. Because that defensive front of the Rams is formidable. He'll get swallowed up fast. The run game, it can all collapse on you if that offensive line's not up to scratch, which it isn't. It's one of the poorest offensive lines in football. It's a miracle they've got here with such a poor offensive line. And if he's not getting that ball out of there like that, it was the Titans, by the way, who they beat, the number 1 seeds. Just remembered. Yeah. Who also do have a good defensive front. I think was a good example of, yes, the Ryan Tannehill was poor, and that defense did stand up for the Bengals in that game, which it doesn't a lot of the time. It did against the Chiefs. So while we lay plaudits on the offense of the Bengals, rightly so, that defense has stepped up twice now in back-to-back big games. That second half, yes, Mahomes might have been in his own head and was beating himself a bit, but to limit Mahomes to 3 points in the entire half of football, you've got to stand up and go, wow, the defence, well done. That's brilliant. And Matt Stafford can have games a bit like Ryan Tannehill, where he can start off sloppy and he can throw you a pick. You will have some opportunities to pick him off. And they've picked Mahomes off a few times. They've picked Ryan Tannehill off. They've picked Derek Carr off. There'll be chances to get some picks, and that turnover differential. It's always important in football. If you turn the ball over, you're more likely to lose. If you get that ball back, you're more likely to win. But it'll be even bigger in this game if you're slowing down the Rams, because if the Rams speed out to an early lead, 21-3 or something, you're not coming back this time. I know you're against the Chiefs, but that Joe Burrow will be swallowed up trying to make them big plays to catch up, so they can't fall behind. And obviously McPherson, he's going to be bigger too. There'll be a lot. I think there'll be a lot of field goals in this game, so he needs his boots on, his kicking boots on, which he's had all season. In the playoffs alone, he's made 4 from 50 yards or more. I mean, and 2 of them were game winning. So he's going to be really important for this game. I think he could be the difference, because Gay has missed a few so far in the playoffs, and some manageable ones too. So it can. We're going to do this in a set. We're going to compare each position or set of positions, see who has the better one. But yeah, we'll go on to the Rams next. Obviously, they're at home. They are at SoFi Stadium. Can they bring it home like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did last year? Matt Stafford, we talked about, could he be a Hall of Famer by just winning this one Super Bowl? I said no, I think he should have to win more, but it's been a hot topic this week, because I mean, some of his records and his passing yards, touchdowns and everything in a terrible Detroit team, it's actually really impressive. But it's Star City, isn't it, in the LA? That defensive front we've talked to death about. It's probably one of the best defensive fronts in football. But on offense, Cooper Kupp with his 1 million yards he's had this year, so many touchdowns. They've got weapons everywhere. Higbee, the tight end, Odell Beckham playing his first Super Bowl. I'm excited to see him. They've just got a star-studded team. But like you said, my concern, I've got concerns about Matt Stafford, the pressure getting to him. He's never been here before, but neither is Joey B's a young guy. Matt Stafford, in 13 years, he's finally done it. Got to that Super Bowl. Does that get to him? He's got that tendency to throw picks. And does Sean McVay overthink again? He's a smart thinker, Sean McVay. He's a great mind. But like you said, he's had 2 weeks. He needs to change it up. They know everything about everyone. Does he overthink it again and it backfires? But did he overthink it before because he had Goff, who has his limitations compared to Stafford? I don't know, but it's going to be a great game. What do you make of the Rams?
Well, the problem with Stafford is, is he going to, I just hope that he rises to the occasion and he doesn't think that he's already won it because he's got here. Because you would look at the two teams and it's why the Rams are the favourites. It's not stupid how your Rams are the favourites, and I just hope that Stafford hasn't got that arrogance of being it's ours to lose, basically. And McVay, he showed a bit of it in the conference game that he does overthinking high pressure. He lost 2 of his timeouts just challenging plays that didn't need to be challenged, and it's if you do that in the Super Bowl, that's what's going to be remembered, because win or lose, if they lose, for the next 6 months, there's going to be article after article after article saying he did this, should he have done this, should he have done that? And your only hope should be in these 2 weeks that you have built up something where you can go, you know what, I feel like I've fully gone for it, and the weapons they've got, they should have plenty there to absolutely blow the Bengals away. But the support that the Bengals have got over the neutrals love them, don't they? The neutrals aren't going, I want the Rams to win, because it's like having United and Brentford. I don't know if you're American, you won't understand that, but it's like playing United and Brentford. The neutral ain't going to go for United, are they? They're going to go for Brentford. So, even though they're the favourites, they are kind of not the favourites in the same sense, aren't they? So they kind of got that against them. And I've never I'm going to sound really bad if this he turns out to have an amazing game, but I've not really rated Jalen Ramsey. I don't really rate him. And I know he's going to have an absolutely amazing game now.
He's going to get 3 picks.
Going to be out there, and he's going to say Luke doesn't have a clue what he's going on about. But I don't. I think he's a bit too much like. I don't think he has the production that everyone goes on about.
He talks too much to me.
Yeah, he's all about the taunting. He's all about getting in people's faces, and it's like, you didn't stop that play. You dropped the ball. That wasn't anything you did. Like, he just tries to have. He relies on physicalness. So, like, if Jamar Chase is obviously going to be on him, Ramsey's going to be on Chase. So they're going to run the route, and he's just going to be trying to bombard you off. And Chase is not dumb. He could easily draw Ramsey into a few, like, flags. Yeah, he could easily draw him into a few of them and a few penalties. And I just don't rate him. And everyone's like, oh, well, that's going to be the big battle. And it's like, I think Jamar Chase is far better than Ramsey is.
I think the big battle, I mean, we've talked about it, is Joey B versus Donald versus Von Miller and Matt Line. That's the battle for me. The game. I honestly, when we talk about the stars, Jalen Ramsey, he's not one. He might be an unpopular opinion. Yeah, he might be the best corner in the league, but is there that many great corners in the league? Like, the only two that ever get really talked about this season is Jalen Ramsey. It's been Trayvon Diggs. It's not like a massive position. Yes, it can win and lose you if you can get a pick, on that goal line when the ball's been thrown in. But Jalen Ramsey's not going to win or lose this game. He's more likely to lose the game for the Rams than he is to win it, because he's aggressive. And sometimes I've seen Trayvon Diggs this season where he's aggressive, he misses the ball. He's gone for the ball. The wide receiver's gone, and it's an easy touchdown. So yeah, I'm with you in that. I don't get the noise about Jalen Ramsey, especially in this game. It's down your offensive guys, or it's down like Aaron Donald. They're gonna be like the guys I'm gonna be looking at for the Super Bowl MVP at the end of it. If Donald gets 2 or 3 sacks, he'll be up there. If Matt Stafford can have another great game, he's had great games all season. If he wins it, he'll probably be MVP.
That's the unfortunate thing about the Super Bowl is Aaron Donald could he could easily end up with 4 or 5 sacks just for himself. Rams win the Super Bowl and it'll be Stafford who's the MVP. I mean, it's only ever happened a couple of times where another player other than the QB has won it. And it's just
Von Miller is the only one who really sticks out for me, who's won it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. I think Edelman won it as well, didn't he?
When they came back against the Falcons.
Yeah, they're the only two that I can remember ever being other than a quarterback. So
I mean, and them two definitely deserved it in them 2 Super Bowls.
If you're betting on an MVP, then I'd just bet one of the quarterbacks because it's probably more than likely going to happen.
Donald. So we'll go on to betting in a second, but yeah, I want to do the comparison thing.
All right, okay.
To throw this on you. We did talk about this, but I forgot to mention it in the prep because I forget everything. So quarterback, Joey Burrow, the coolest man, the cigar guy, the shares guy. I mean, even the Rams players are talking about him being cool. Or Matthew Stafford. I'll go first on this. I mean, I love Joey Burrow, but Matthew Stafford is more experienced. He's probably the better quarterback right now. If I'm going to the Super Bowl, Joe Burrow, I'm not saying he's got bite or hype, but if I'm going to the Super Bowl, I probably trust Matthew Stafford more right now, just because he's more mature. He's got a big arm. Yes, he's less mobile, but he's a really good quarterback. I've slept on Matthew Stafford for years, probably because he's been in Detroit, who stink. But you look at his numbers, and if he'd have been, a better team, if he'd have demanded that trade earlier, if he'd have been more selfish, he probably would have 2 Super Bowls now. He's actually a really good quarterback. So I'm going to take Matthew Stafford on this one. What you?
I'm going to put a bit of competition out there. I'm going to go Burrows.
There we go.
I'd like to do this from the sense of all these players are on a draft board and we're trying to pick a Super Bowl team. So should we do? So I get the second pick now. I get the first pick next, and then
Yeah,
just do that. So
yeah.
you at quarterback, you got Stafford. I've got Burrows.
Right. So, on to the wide receiver class. Are you taking Jamar Chase, Higgins of the Bengals, or are you having the Rams, OBJ, Cooper Kupp? If fit, if he was, he's not fit, but we'll put Robert Woods in there.
So I'm going to take I'm going to have the Bengals quarterback with the Rams receivers because Jefferson, Odell, and Kupp are just you can't compete with that three, can you? Really, they're just unbelievable.
Especially how I'm so impressed with how OBJ has taken to LA. I thought he was done.
Yeah.
I thought he was finished. That stuff with his dad. I just thought, this is the sort of stuff you do when your career's finished. You're over that hill. But he's come to LA and he has done so well.
And they've proven that you can have two number one receivers, aren't they? So
yeah, I mean,
they say you never can because always one of them is going to be unhappy, but they seem to be sharing the load quite well. And
and it's OBJ who's taken it well to me. I know he's come in, but Cooper Kupp seems like that sort of guy where he doesn't have that ego.
They were taking a risk there, though. I think that's one of the biggest risks the Rams have taken because Kupp is very settled, and he's obviously an elite receiver. Bringing Odell in, Kupp could have taken that the wrong way.
Oh, definitely.
Could have reacted in a different way. He could have been like, "What am I not enough?" or something. But they've played that. They played it really well. To be fair to them.
I mean, I'm happy with having Chase and Higgins, the two youngsters, rookie contracts. We've got a few years left in them. And Jamar Chase, and that connection, I know he has with Burrow. I think he could have it with Stafford. Stafford's got a good arm on him.
Yeah.
We'll move on to tight ends. I'm going to take Tyler Higbee of the Rams. I mean, he's good at blocking. He's a big guy. He can block for you. He's got everything I think a tight end needs. He gets quite a few touchdowns. He's involved with plays. I like my tight end a bit like Jason Witt. I want my tight end to be able to block, and Tyler Higbee can block.
I mean, I'll happily take you somewhere. I'm not really fussed about that. I won't be too bothered.
No, that's actually them two are quite close. I think. Probably. I mean, I think all of them are actually quite evenly matched, which is quite good. Your quarterbacks was not much in it. Wide receivers, probably Rams favourably a bit more in that one, but still. So now on to we'll just go offensive line, and you can take the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, did you even need to ask me? No. We know what's happening there.
I mean,
would have shot myself in the foot there if I took the Bengals.
Yeah, Matt Stafford needs to start moving a bit more because at least I get to pick the defense, and obviously I'm picking Aaron Donald. I'm getting Von Miller. I mean, Von Miller's another one. I know that. I mean, it's crazy that Denver is still paying him this year. They're paying him to win a Super Bowl for the LA Rams. They're paying his last $9 million on his contract. And that's another one where I just thought, no, that guy's over the hump. He's done. He hasn't performed well these last 2 years. I think he's had a few injuries. And it's like, really? You're getting him? And he's coming and he's looked like the old Von Miller again. And maybe it's just, when you're surrounded by better players, you do play better. If you stuck, going back to football, if you stuck Ronaldo, I mean, when he's playing with like Freddie McTominay, it looks pretty bad. But when he's playing for Portugal, he still looks really good. So it's but with better players, you play better. Aaron Donald, for me, is actually the best player in the NFL right now. He's unstoppable. He's just a beast. He's a monster, and he just quietly gets on with his work. That's what I love about him the most. We talked about Jalen Ramsey always running that big mouth of his. Aaron Donald, he lets his football do the talking, and he does so well.
I mean, I'm quite happy to have Hendrickson. I mean, I think he's really underrated. I think what he did against the Chiefs was brilliant. So, I fancy my chances with a bit of protection on Burrows, and I fancy the Bengals defensive line to get through their own offensive line. So I'm quite happy so far.
Yeah, you could have had any defense. You could have a high school defense, and you probably get through that line.
Yeah.
Finally, I mean, you get to pick the kicker. Ooh.
Oh, I mean, I've not been shy about the fact that I absolutely love McPherson. So
Everyone loves McPherson. I mean, him and Joey Burrow are just cool guys, aren't they? He's my favourite guy in the league after that thing where he's like, guess we'll go to the AFC Championship. Just that line is just amazing. And he's easily the better kicker. I mean, to be taken as a rookie, I mean, the guy was in high school 4 years ago, and he's kicked his team to go to the Super Bowl. Imagine if he has a game-winning kick in this game, 3 straight game-winning kicks to get to the AFC Championship, the Super Bowl, and then to win the Super Bowl. I mean, that's the stuff that dreams are made of for a kicker.
I mean, you'd make all teams think about drafting a kicker, wouldn't you? I mean, he's probably already made them think of that, but if he makes them win the Super Bowl, are we going to be talking in, March time? Is this kicker out of this university the number 1 pick?
Dallas, if you're watching, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, if you're watching, please draft a kicker in the first round. We're pretty good on offense. We're very good defense. You know what we're not very good on? We've got the best punter in the league. Please, actually, we need better offensive line, because if I see
you have not got the best punter in the league.
Oh, we have.
No.
Anger. This is not the debate. But
it very much is up for debate, because the Seahawks have got the best punter in the league.
That can be something for the off season. But
all right.
I don't want to see Connor Williams playing, but I'm getting distracted. So I've got Gay. He's been shaky. He was doing well in the normal season, in the season. Come post season, he's missed a 37 yard. He's missed a 42 yard. He's looking shaky, and like we said earlier, the difference between winning a Super Bowl and losing a Super Bowl can come down to a field goal. And I put all my eggs in the McPherson basket to win the game compared to Gay. So yeah, I think from what did so I picked Rams. I think the Rams win 4-3, 3-2. So the Rams edge it out on the better players, because I picked the quarterback, you picked wide receivers, so that's 2-0. Did we only win on kicker? I think we only won on kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually it wasn't as close as we thought. But a lot of the arguments are close, except the offensive line, where this game maybe won or lost as well. So now it's time to get into our predictions for the game. What we think will happen, who will be lifting the Vincent Lombardi trophy, which coach will be getting Gatorade poured over him at the end of this match. So, who wants to go first? To you?
Yeah, so should we just do like we were doing for the championship games, just like top 3 or something like that?
Yeah, and predictions for the score and stuff, obviously, as well first.
So, score, I'm going to go I'm going to lean into a field goal win for the Bengals. I'm going to go 31-28.
Wow, so close game. Sounds a good game, that. 31-28. I like it.
I'll take that.
So,
4 o'clock in the morning, I'll go to bed happy with that.
Yeah, I don't want it to go to overtime, please. I don't want to stay up any later than I have to. I'm going to go for a lower scoring game, but still close. I'm going to take the Rams 24-20 to win. I want the Bengals to win, but every result I've predicted, I've got wrong, and I've wanted a lot of the other teams. I've wanted the Bengals to win. I've predicted against them every single time. So just keep it going, Bengals. 24-20 Rams, but the Bengals will win, so it's okay. So now we're going to get on into our betting predictions before we wrap up on the final Pick-6 podcast of the 2021 season. So, Luke, what have you picked out from Sky Bet? And please do remember, only gamble if you can afford it, when the fun stops stop, and of course, over 18s only. Do not bet if you're under 18. So, Luke, take it away. What are we betting on this week?
So I like the featured request a bet, so I'm probably going to go with this one. Bengals to win, and the last point scored in the match to be a Bengals field goal. It leans into my prediction, so I'm quite happy with that one.
What are the odds on that?
That's a 6-1, so it's not like massive, but put £5 on that, you'll get a decent amount. And then, because we were talking about how Odell Beckham he does like to throw a touchdown every now and again. I'm going to go for any Rams non-QB to throw one passing touchdown. And that's 22-1. So
I like
I
that
quite
one.
like
That one I really do like because
the Super Bowl brings out the odd plays, doesn't it? And the plays in the team before, like the Philly special. Never seen that before, and then it won in the Super Bowl. So could you see Stafford faking, talking to his lineman, and running off, and Odell throws it to him? Maybe. And then for my final one, I would say either QB to be sacked on their first offensive play, and that's 25-1.
I like it. So, for me, I'm going for a nice one. I'm going to go Aaron Donald at 12-1 to be MVP. I think with the Rams winning, he's going to get after, he's going to get on Joey B. He's going to force a fumble, he's going to force a turnover, maybe 2 turnovers. He's going to put that pressure on. He's going to get 2 or 3 sacks. So at 12-1, I'm liking him to be MVP of the Super Bowl. Another one I like, I'll only give you 2 or 3, and then I'll just give you like a funny one. One I do like is at 15-2, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, and Odell Beckham all to score touchdowns. I can see both of Beckham and Kupp to score touchdowns, and Chase to get one as well. So at 15-2, that's a nice one. And then if you're looking to bet on Gatorade colours, because that's always a fun one to do on the Super Bowl, I think it's probably going to be orange, just because Cincinnati. But a nice one to look out for. Purple. Just have a dabble on purple. Why not? And for the coin toss, heads. Because people, for some strange reason, love doing that coin toss. I mean, it's a 50-50 thing, but people love betting on it. And tails always fails, remember. So go heads.
And an interesting thing I saw on Twitter was, apparently, I don't know how true this is, but do you know them stupid bets like the Gatorade colour? A lot of people will look back at old games and see what colour
they
favoured during the year.
Yeah.
So, say the Bengals, out of their 17 games, 9 times they drank yellow or something, they will bet on the yellow because they think, they're just going to choose their favourite colour. So I think it's really quite bizarre, them sort of bets.
Yeah,
quite funny.
A lot of think this is what I mean. Betting, it's not a fool's game. A lot of research goes into it. I was going to, before this, if I wasn't so busy at work today, I was going to look at the past year, what the coin flip was, what it landed on for the last 10 Super Bowls, but I didn't. So maybe heads doesn't always win, but I feel like it's got to be heads this year. So bet on heads, and then blame me if you don't win. So yes, it's Super Bowl 56. We cannot wait. We will be back Tuesday to review this game because I think we're just going to be a bit too tired Monday and we'll want to sleep Monday night. So we will be back Tuesday to review this game. Of course, keep up to date on all our socials. If you're watching the YouTube version, they are down below at the Pick-6 Pod. If you're listening to the audio, there you go. Both on Twitter and Instagram, and also TikTok, where we will be posting some shorts on all the latest news, and of course our predictions for Sunday and some more betting tips that will be out. So if you want to keep up to date with all our stuff, do visit our Twitter and Instagram. And before we go, because this is the final one of the 2021 season, we will be here throughout all the off season. We're hoping to bring in some guests to talk about the future of all 32 franchises and how these 2 teams can get back here next year, and how the other 30 should have a shot at Super Bowl 57. That'll be fun to go through. We're hoping to get some guests who cover them teams. so it won't just be me and Luke. We'll be here once every week, maybe every 2 weeks, depending on news, because it's a bit slow in the off season. But I do want to thank you for all the support so far on our first few episodes. We started during the post season, so it'd be great to cover a full season on NFL next year, because there's going to be games in Munich, there's going to be games in London, there's going to be games everywhere. Mexico. This game's growing, and we are growing too. So thank you for all the support. I hope you do enjoy the Super Bowl. You should do. It's going to be a great halftime show as well. I know Luke is especially looking forward to that one.
Oh, I'm a 90s baby. I just can't believe it. I'm well looking forward to it. I mean, I'm not going to be one of them people where like I only watch Super Bowl for the halftime show, but I've never really been interested in the halftime show. But this year, because like you said, you normally have a nap during it, don't you?
You know, I catch up on some sleep just because it's a long time. You know, that good half hour, and I'm ready to go again for the second half. But this time, no. Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, they're all there, and I will be too.
Yeah.
So that is it for the Super Bowl preview. We do thank you for this. Please do remember to follow us and rate us if you're listening to our audio version. If you're on YouTube, give it a like, subscribe, comment down below who you think will win the Super Bowl, what score will be, and who will be the MVP. So thank you once again, and we will see you when we discuss either the Rams or the Bengals' success.
Bengals. Thank you very much.
See ya. Perfect.
Is that good,
Yeah. Thank you for watching the Pick-6 podcast. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below on all things NFL. We are here from the off-season all the way to the Super Bowl. Don't you worry, we're not going anywhere. Please check out any of our other videos, our shorts, our news videos, our clips, our predictions, our betting. We're here all the time posting all things NFL. Thank you.